Hey everybody, I'm back. This is Tony Visit Tone with your Friday 2-for-1 recaps. Okay, 2 videos in 1 day. Okay, so we'll start off with Impact. Alright, overall I thought this week's show, it was good, it was decent, but I thought it was a bit of a step back from the past few weeks. Mostly I thought, that there were some good matches on the show, but the booking was kind of weird. It was the usually good wrestling with unusual booking type of show this week. So what we had on the show, we had Kurt Angle versus James Storm in the Bound for Glory series match. We had the in-ring debut of Chavo Guerrero Jr. And we had Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian give Crackhead Claire a baby shower. And we did not have the appearance of Aces and Eights. So with that in mind, let's get to the show. Actually, before the show started, they were rolling the end credits of whatever show comes before Impact, and Kenny King and Austin Aries were rolling backstage with Bobby Roode and Zema Ion. So then the actual show started with all 4 guys coming out on the stage. They brawl on the stage. The brawl continues as they make their way to ringside. Then eventually they get in the ring and the bell sounds. So right off the bat, we get our first match, TNA World Champ Austin Aries and Kenny King versus Bobby Roode and X-Division Champion Zema Ion. Really good match, great way to kick off the show here. I thought there was a lot of good stuff here. Aries and Kenny won when Kenny King got the pin on Zema Ion. It was a really good match, and I thought it was a really good way to kick off the show. You started off with the brawl with some some nice action instead of the usual 20-minute or whatever without any yada yada. Okay, so and the match was really good. So then we get Sting backstage, and he says that he's not going to jump to conclusions about James Storm, but he wants to get the info from the horse's mouth right now. He wants to know who's behind the Aces and Eights stable, and Sting says we'll find out soon because he's going to call out James Storm next. So next segment, Sting comes out to the ring. He says there's a lot of questions about the Aces and Eights clan, but no one's got any answers, at least not yet. And he says that there's always someone who has the info on what's going on and stuff like this. And Sting calls out James Storm. So James Storm comes out, and Sting said that he didn't believe Roode's accusation of Storm being the leader of Aces and Eights, but there is some compelling footage that Sting wants to show. So they re-show on the Tron Aces and Eights coming in and attacking AJ Styles during the James Storm AJ Styles match from last week. And then that follows with Storm running to the ring at the end of the Bully Ray Kurt Angle match. And when Storm ran out, the Aces and Eights guys headed for the hills. So Sting says that it's like he wants Storm to convince him and everyone, I guess the TNA and all of the fans and everybody that Storm had nothing to do with the Aces and Eights guys. So Storm said that what he saw when he ran to the ring was a bunch of cowards who ran when he came into the ring to beat the hell out of him, pretty much. So, and Storm said he's never needed anyone to assist him when he fights his battles. And Storm says that 9 months ago, he was jumped from behind by Kurt Angle or whatever, and he says he didn't cry and moan about it. He says that he beat Kurt Angle 3 out of 4 times, and one of those times he beat him was for the TNA World Title, and he didn't need anyone to assist him in beating Kurt Angle. And then Kurt Angle comes out, and he says that, he tells Storm that they've been through a lot in the past year, but what he remembers from what Kurt Angle says what he remembers from last week is that he got jumped from behind before he came out for his match, which I'm guessing was the James Storm Kurt Angle match that was supposed to start off Impact a couple of weeks ago, and Aces and Eights laid Angle out in the back. And then Angle mentions that AJ Styles got jumped and even the referee got knocked out. And Angle says the Aces and Eights guys attacked AJ Styles and him and all that stuff, but they never went after Storm. So then he says that then Kurt Angle says that Storm pretty much is benefiting from the Aces and Eights attack. He says he didn't get Storm's motives. He says he's known to him for a while, but he doesn't get his motives or whatever. Then he said, it's like he mentions how it's like they never went after him during the attacks last week during AJ's match with James Storm, or the Angle Ray match when they when they hit the ring. So then Kurt Angle says that if the Aces and Eights guys are in the arena, he's begging them to come out. For his match later on. So then Sting says he hopes they show up too because he'll be at ringside. So then Angle just tells Storm that we'll make him tap out. So he goes, oh yeah, we'll see about that, Kurt. Okay, I thought it was a good segment. They did some good. They had some good promos here. Then they recap Claire showing AJ Styles the photos from a couple weeks ago. Then they showed Daniels and Kazarian backstage, and they got all these gifts, and they're gonna throw a baby shower for Claire. Okay, what would you do? Then Tenay and Taz announced that at Hardcore Justice, there are going to be 3 4-way Bound for Glory series matches. Winners of each match get 20 points. I forget off the top of my head what 2 of them are, but I know one of them should be really good. Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels in a ladder match. That should be awesome. I know there's a tables match somewhere. I know Bully Ray is in one of them. Robbie E, The Pope, Jeff Hardy, RVD, Ken Anderson. I forget who's in what, but so that's for Hardcore Justice. 3 4-way Bound for Glory series matches. Then Bubba Ray or Bully Ray comes out, and he said that he heard what James Storm said before. He said he never trusted him, and that later tonight he'll also be at ringside for the James Storm Kurt Angle match. So then Robbie E comes out, and Bully Ray squashes him for 7 points in the Bound for Glory series. Not much else to that. Then Earl Hebner is backstage with Madison Rayne. He's got gifts for whatever. Madison says that she doesn't need any gifts from him, just his affection. Then Gail Kim comes by and asks what the gifts are for. Madison says that Earl Hebner is a fair referee when screwing one over. In the 4-way knockouts match, he'll call down the middle. Okay. That was short. Then Brooke Tessmacher comes out to do commentary for the 4-way knockouts match. It's a 4-way knockouts match. Winner challenges Tessmacher at Hardcore Justice for the knockouts title. Tara, Mickie James, Madison Rayne, and Gail Kim. Earl Hebner's a referee, so you know what that means. Madison gets the win when she pins Tara. Tara rolled up Madison. Madison's shoulders were pretty down. 1, 2, 3. And then as soon as the bell rang, they play Madison Rayne's music, and then Tessmacher's like, "Oh, man, Tara won!" And it's like, "Oh, wait a minute, what's going on?" I was like, I hope to God they don't have Hebner rep all of Madison's matches, because it's just this storyline is really not a major focal point. It's still kind of dumb. So hopefully they won't have Earl Hebner screw Brooke Tessmacher out of the title at Hardcore Justice. So then we get Bobby Roode backstage, and he says he stands by his accusation that James Storm is the leader of the Aces and Eights clan, and now he's saying that Kurt Angle, Sting, and Bubba Ray Dudley all believe him. And Roode says that since everyone will be at ringside for the Angle Storm match, he figured what the hell, he'll be at ringside too. So then he walks off the camera, and then Austin Aries comes by and he says, hey, he decides he'll be at ringside also. So we got like 6 guys out of ringside for the main event. I don't know how many guys are for the main event. Then they show Brooke Hogan and Sting in the GM office, just talking about Hulk Hogan's condition, this and that. Sting says that the Aces and Eights guys, there's got to have to have an inside guy. This has got to be an inside job. And then he asks Brooke if she can still run the Knockouts division. She says she's not sure. She'll see if she can continue. She'll try doing that. And then some dude comes in and gives Brooke an envelope. She opens it up, and it's a paper with Aces and Eights on it or whatever. And then Brooke runs off. It's a stupid segment. Then we get Eric Young and ODB backstage. ODB says that Brooke Hogan is pissed at them for not defending the Knockout tag titles in the last 2 months or whatever. And she says that Brooke Hogan's also pissed because Eric Young's a guy holding the title or whatever. And then Eric Young talks about his new show debuts on Sunday or whatever. It was typical ODB Eric Young comedy stuff. I wasn't really into it that much. Then we get Chavo Guerrero versus Kid Cash. Really good back and forth match here. Chavo got the pin. He did the Three Amigos from that he used to do, and connected with the Frog Splash. He got the pin. Hernandez was a ringside with Chavo, and Gunner was ring shot with Cash. At one point, they both got up on the apron, and I thought, oh boy, here we go, something's gonna happen. But nope, they didn't do anything. So Chavo got the clean win. They might, I don't know if they're gonna do Hernandez and Chavo versus Cash and Gunner at Hardcore Justice or what, but I don't know. That might be a good match too. So then Dixie Carter's backstage. A stupid camera guy asks for Dixie's take on the AJ Claire story. Dixie says that it's way past time for AJ to set the record straight. Whatever. Then they show Daniels and Kazarian backstage with the gifts, and they walk into the ring, and the god-awful baby shower is next. So then, actually, before we get to that, Kurt Angle is backstage with Wes Briscoe, who I heard was one of the Aces and Eights guys. So Wes says that he's the son of Jerry Briscoe. So Wes says to Kurt Angle that being a pro wrestler has been his biggest dream, blah, blah, blah. Then Devon and Garrett Bischoff come by, and Devon tells Kurt Angle that they won't let the Aces and Eights guys, come in and attack Angle a third time. And Angle tells him to make sure that he can, tells them to make sure that he can have his match without the playing card stable hit the ring. So then we get Daniels and Kazarian in the ring with the table of gifts and crap and everything. And then so Daniel says that AJ Styles isn't there. He was in Australia, probably impregnating somebody. And then Daniel says they've decided to invite Claire to the Impact Zone. And she's, of course, again, sitting in the front row. So she comes out behind a guardrail, gets in the ring. And Daniel says they want to do what AJ and his redneck family can't do. And that's throw a little bit. And that's this crap here. So then they put some kind of necklace around her neck. I don't know what the hell they were doing there. Daniel says that Claire deserves to be around by people that support and love her. And he says that AJ is treating her like crap. And Daniels pretty much says that he and Kazarian got her some gifts. So they give her a box here, and it's got action figures of AJ Styles, some pics of Daniels, and replicas of the TNA title belt. And then Daniel says the best one is next, and it's a freaking doll with the AJ Styles gear. Daniel says that Claire deserves this, and this is all for her, blah, blah, blah. He hands her the doll, and Claire was all happy about it. She was like, oh, thanks, the gifts, and it was like, huh? And then she looks into the camera and screams at AJ to do the right thing for their unborn kid or whatever. Painful segment. The storyline is really beyond idiotic right now, and I just wish they'd do the right thing and end it. So then we get Joseph Park backstage. He's on the phone. Then he tells the camera guy that he and his lawyer team, Park, will be representing some of the TNA wrestlers. Then Sting shows up, and he offers his services to Sting. Sting says he's good, whatever. And then Sting asks Joseph about the Black Hole Slam he gave to Bubba Ray Dudley a few weeks ago. And Joseph Park acts like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. And then Sting actually says, are you kayfabing me? Yeah, folks. He actually said that on the show. Then I think Joseph took a pic on his phone of him and Sting or whatever. A little, not the greatest segment. So then we finally get to Kurt Angle versus James Storm in the Battle for Glory series. Storm got the pin, 7 points. Kurt Angle actually had the ankle lock on James Storm, and they kept hinting that James Storm was gonna, he was attempting to get the ropes. Angle kept yanking him away, and they kept thinking Storm was gonna tap out. Eventually, Storm got out of the ankle lock somehow, and then out of nowhere hit the last call super kick, 1, 2, 3. And of course, during the match, as the match was going on, first Sting came out, then Devon and Garrett, Bully Ray, Bobby Roode, and finally Austin Aries. So they were all surrounding the ring waiting for the Aces and Eights crew to come out, but they never showed up. So then afterwards, Angle hugged Storm, and they raised each other's arms. And then Storm gets the mic and says that the game is on hand, so Aces and Eights can come out. So he calls the Aces and Eights guys out. They don't show up. Roode gets the mic and says this is a little odd. He says that there's no Aces and Eights here right now because Storm doesn't need them. And he says Roode says that he knows Storm better than Storm knows himself, and he again says that Storm is the guy behind the attacks. And then I don't know where Bubba comes in the ring and attacks Storm while Aries brawls with Bobby Roode, and that was the show. This match was good, but this whole thing with the Storm Angle match I thought was good, but this whole it's like I don't know why the hell they're having Roode accused Storm of being the guy behind the playing card clan. Whatever it was. So that was your show. Like I said, I thought it was a decent show. A little bit of a step back from the last few weeks. They had some good matches on. The opening tag match was great. The Angle Storm main event was good. Shiloh Cash, it was a really good match. Baby Shower segment sucked. The 4-way knockouts match was solid, but the finish was idiotic. The Hebner the screw job referee or whatever. Whatever. Like I say, there were good matches on the show, but it was surrounded by some weak booking, I thought. So that'll do for me for right now. I'll be back in a few minutes with my SmackDown recap. And until then, the rigmarole. You can check TonyPhysics.blogspot.com, where I recap the show in depth. And I'll be back in a few minutes with my SmackDown recap.